Hello, everyone, and welcome to What If Disney World. I'm Stevie.
And I'm Amy.
And we're going to be sharing our strategy and tips for an ideal day in Disney World's Animal Kingdom Park. And before we jump in, just want to say we appreciate you hitting that like and subscribe button. We have more tips and strategy videos coming soon, so make sure you ring that notification bell also to keep up to date on all of the videos coming out.
All right, so the strategy we will go over today has been our general plan for our past few visits to Animal Kingdom, and it's typically worked out really well. I mean, sometimes things don't go perfectly. For example, a ride might break down or have an unexpectedly long wait. Like one time when we were there were animals blocking the path on the safari. So the safari had this insane 120-minute wait because they basically had to shut it down because the animals wouldn't move off of the path. But that aside, generally this plan has worked really great for us and been kind of tried and true. And I'll add that this strategy is not utilizing Genie Plus. We have found that we don't really need Genie Plus on our Animal Kingdom days, and we can still get everything done that we want to. But that said, if you're going on a really busy time or it's going to be a super crowded day, you might want to buy Genie Plus to help you get through all the attractions. We like to start by taking advantage of the 30-minute early park entry that's allowed to on-site resort guests at Disney World. Being DVC, we are always staying on property in DVC resorts, so this perk for these on-site guests really helps to get the major attractions out of the way with short wait times. Plus, the parks are less crowded and, to me, more peaceful feeling in that first 30 minutes. I highly recommend taking advantage of this extra time. It's a really great perk. So you'll need to be sure to check the opening time of the park. On nearly all of our trips, Animal Kingdom opens at 8 o'clock, so the early entry would be at 7:30. But on our most recent trip, the park didn't open until 9, and so early entry wasn't until 8:30 a.m. And this hour difference can make a really big difference in your strategy and what you're able to do, because the live shows have set time schedules, and so you might not be able to get as much done before the first Lion King show, for example, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
We then make our way to Pandora, passing the Tree of Life and the people stopping for pictures. We come back and get those pictures later, but with early entry only being 30 minutes, we try and get right to the rides while wait times are still low.
Yeah, but don't run. Like, we see so many people like literally running to Pandora. Don't do that. You still have plenty of time. You can stop and look around a little bit, but like, don't stop too long and don't take too many pictures. Just go ahead and head to the rides. You can circle back around for those pictures later.
Right, so Pandora is such a cool and beautiful land, and Flight of Passage is one of my top 5 rides in all of Walt Disney World.
Mine too.
And it must be others as well, because it gets the longest wait time typically in the park. It's one of those pay extra for the individual lightning lane. So to save time and money, we go straight there.
Right. And if you have little kids like we do, you'll want to do rider switch here. Now, what they will do sometimes with early entry is have you go ahead and wrap around to the end of the line, and then when you get up to the entrance is when they'll do your rider switch. And so with this, while Stevie goes and rides with one of our kids, I'll take the kids to do something else. Early in the morning like this, first thing, Navi River journey is usually a walk-on. Even on a busy day, you can just go and walk through or wait like 5 minutes. So that's a really good option to go and take the babies because there's no height requirement for that. Or I'll take them and go get some French toast sticks at Pongu Pongu. It's right on the other side of Flight of Passage. And it's got like a biscuit breakfast sandwich too that's really good. But our kids love the French toast sticks. And so that's a really good thing to do with the little ones while other people are riding Flight of Passage. And then when Stevie gets off, I can go through the lightning lane entrance and ride Flight of Passage quickly.
Yeah, and once we're all done with Flight of Passage, we go ahead and all ride the Navi River together. Wait time is usually still low, about 15 minutes maybe or so at this point. But our kids really enjoy that ride. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so even if the babies have already ridden it during Rider Switch, they love to ride it again, and then we can all ride it as a family. So now we're done with Pandora. You can look around, take some pictures or whatnot. But then after Pandora, we head to Africa. Now there's 2 ways to get to Africa. We typically go the back way. This goes by the river, and you can oftentimes catch a flotilla coming by, which is really, really fun. The kids love that. Sometimes to change it up, we will go the other direction. And in the other direction, you can stop by Creature Comforts. That's like the Starbucks of Animal Kingdom. Get some coffee, go look at the Tree of Life, sip your coffee or take your coffee while you're walking to Africa. That's a nice area right there. But you can also do that later if you're kind of seeing that you're running short on time, depending on when the park opened and when the Festival of the Lion King show is.
Once in Africa, we head straight to the safari. This is usually still early enough that it's not too hot and the animals are out and active. We found it to be a great time of the day to go. We've seen the lion jumping up on top of the rocks during this time. We see the giraffes moving about. It's a really fun time to see the animals on the safari.
Yeah. And so the Festival of the Lion King shows, like I mentioned earlier, are set times. So depending on what time you make it to Africa and how long the wait of the safari is, you should be able to make one of the Festival of the Lion King shows in the morning. So at the time that we're recording this, they offer Festival of the Lion King at 10 a.m. and at 11 a.m. And you want to line up a little bit before that. That's when the show starts. So you want to line up early to get in. It's such a fun production to watch. It's absolutely one of the best live shows in Disney World. To me, it's really, really worth it to try to make it to that.
Yeah, and while in Africa, we also like to watch the Harambe drummers or acrobats on the street. They're very talented and a lot of fun to watch. There's also a lot of cool souvenir shops here and handcrafted items. So be sure to check out all that Africa has to offer and not to just rush out.
Yeah, and you can kind of use those things to fill in time. Like if you're waiting for a Festival of the Lion King show. Also in Africa, there's the Gorilla Exploration Trail where you can walk through and see more animals up close. We may or may not do this depending on time.
It's skippable.
Yeah, it's skippable. The other thing that we skip typically is Rafiki's Planet Watch. This is a train you can take to the conservation station where you can see where the vets work on the animals, learn how to draw a character. There's a petting zoo area. We did this one time and the kids, number one, love the train ride. It's super fun. But what we didn't realize is, number one, how much time it takes. It actually takes quite a lot of time. And it's a really long walk from where the train parks to get to the conservation station. If you are going to do this, take your stroller with you. Your arms will thank you.
Okay, so after Africa, we head towards Asia and ride Everest. So this is another one of my top 5 rides in Disney World. It's another ride that we do rider switch at. So Amy will walk around with the children while I get to ride, or we'll switch, and she gets to go through the lightning lane and get on quickly. It's a lot of fun. The fact that you go backwards on this ride is another one of the things that I really love about it.
Yeah, it kind of gives me a little bit of vertigo, but I still like it.
Oh,
so yeah. I'm all for it. And kind of right across from Everest, there's a really cool zoom shot. One of the shots where it's like zoomed out and you can see all of Everest, and it zooms in on your family and takes a picture, and then it zooms back out. So definitely, if you have time or you're looking to kill time with Rider Switch, go and do that, because that's a really neat zoom shot if you have PhotoPass. in Asia, we typically skip Kali River Rapids. You get potentially really soaked on this ride, and I hate getting wet. Like, I don't mind getting splashed, but I don't want to get soaked and walk around wet for the rest of the day. So we typically skip this. There's also the Maharaja Jungle Trek in Asia where you can see some more animals. And that's a walkthrough kind of thing. So if you have time, that's really cool to see. You can see a tiger here and different kind of animals.
And by this time, it's usually close to lunch. Over close to the Tree of Life is one of our favorite quick service places called Flame Tree Barbecue. We will mobile order while we're walking that way, and our food will be ready. It has great places to sit and eat. That's by the water. We usually find one of those tables down there. It's shady. It's a perfect spot. Great views and delicious food.
Yeah, and by the entrance to Flame Tree, there's a street band that performs, and they have amazing dancing and really fun music. And so you can either kind of hear that while you're sitting at Flame Tree, or usually either when we're on our way in or on our way out, we'll catch one of their performances, and you can stop and, you know, bust a move, do a little dancing, have a little fun. Yeah, But if barbecue isn't your thing, there's some other really great quick service places to eat in Animal Kingdom. In Asia, back by close to Everest, Yak and Yeti has a little food market, quick service area that you could get some Asian food. Or you could walk back over to Pandora and go to Satuli Canteen. That is an excellent option. The food is really unique and really good. So between those three options, I think you can find a really good quick service meal that's going to please your family. We like Flame Tree because, number one, we like barbecue. And number two, it's huge portions that we can split. And so we can split meals and save some money too.
And after lunch, depending on timing, we may double back to the Nemo Show. This is another great production that they put on. It's air conditioned. You get to sit down and watch the show, and the kids love it because all their favorite characters come out. It's basically the whole story of Nemo being played out on stage. It's really cool with these giant puppets. Really neat show to watch.
Yeah, but they've added music too, so it's like a musical. It's really entertaining, really beautiful show. I think I cried a few times. It's really...
Oh, you did, huh?
I did. So this is typically where we actually leave Animal Kingdom and go spend the rest of the day at either Disney Springs or back at our resort for some pool time. I know what you're thinking. You skip Dino Land. But to be honest, it's just not our favorite. We've done the dinosaur ride. It's kind of herky-jerky. It made my back and my neck hurt. And it's just, I don't know. It's just not there for me. The boneyard is really cool. The kids can dig around in the sand, but then they get dirty. So I don't know. We typically skip that. And then the Triceratops spin is like Dumbo, but with Triceratops instead of elephants. Usually skip that because we do Dumbo in Magic Kingdom. We also usually skip the Tough to Be a Bug attraction because it's kind of disturbing for little kids, and our little ones tend to get kind of scared.
If you wanted to, though, you could head over and ride Dinosaur after lunch, but we opt to spend this time elsewhere. Like I said, going to Disney Springs or going back to the resort and getting in the swimming pool. We find that Animal Kingdom for us is typically morning park and leave after lunch.
Yeah. And as we're leaving the park, this is when we take some time, though, to walk around the Tree of Life. Just look at all of the details and the carvings on the Tree of Life. It's absolutely a work of art. It's so beautiful. It is really neat to see up close and look at all of the intricate detail that the artist put in. And now I will say this is when we typically leave the park because we have done nighttime in Animal Kingdom before. We've experienced that. But if you haven't ever been to Pandora at night, it really is something special. It glows. So there's the bioluminescence of Pandora. So they have glow-in-the-dark paint, basically, and black lights, and the whole area of Pandora glows at night. It's really, really beautiful, and it creates a whole different experience. And at night at Animal Kingdom, they also have the Tree of Life Awakenings, which they'll do a projection light show on the Tree of Life at nighttime. And it's really neat to see too. We really enjoyed that when we did stay and watch it, but we just find that for us with 3 young kids, when we have gotten there at 7 a.m. and done rope drop, our kids just can't make it that late. We've got to leave early to mid-afternoon and give them a rest. They can't make it until dark.
We know every person and family is different, but we hope that this helps you make a park strategy that fits your family well. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments or share what you like to do in Animal Kingdom. Please like and subscribe for more Disney content, and until next time, keep dreaming.